Today we're raising Skirk, and since we already did most of that on stream a couple days ago, I'll just quickly play some highlights. Alright, yeah, we actually prepared perfectly for max ascension, so there's level 90 I suppose. We're back, and before we start testing teammates, a good old talented Constellation Overview is in order. There are a couple things that make Skirk stand out that I want to address first. One, like Mawika, she doesn't use energy, so the energy recharge stat is useless. Two, she has two different ultimates like Varissa, one with a cutscene and one without. And three, the thing I want to look at more deeply later, she's not very flexible and her best teammates are almost non-negotiable. But anyway, her basic attack is unimportant before doing her elemental skill, and her elemental skill is the core of her kit. It has both a tap and hold mode. Tapping it transforms her normal attacks to not only look a lot cooler, but literally are cooler. I know I'm the first one to make that joke. She gets a cryo infusion, a damage increase, and 45 serpent subtleties, which I'll just call energy for the sake of simplicity. While in this mode, her energy steadily drains until 0, ending the state. Holding her skill gives her the same 45 energy and has her fly for a bit. She won't enter a special mode though, thus no energy is being consumed. Holding her skill also absorbs any voids on field, which we'll talk about now. Voids are created when specific cryo reactions happen. There's a 2.5 second cooldown on creating them, but it doesn't matter who triggers the reaction. Up to 3 can exist at the same time, and absorbing them gives her 8 energy. Before we move on to playstyles, let's address the elephant in the room. Her passives basically lock her into a pure cryo hydro team, much like Escoffier, which is, no surprise, one of her best, if not her best teammate. If you're not in this sort of team, not only will you leave a free skill level on the table from passive 3, but a huge buff for her normal and burst damage, which, yeah, is all of her damage. Any other element, just one, knocks this buff down dramatically. Moving on to burst, she has 2 different bursts and ultimately 2 different playstyles because of that. You can go down the path of normal attack DPS or burst DPS. Let's explore normal attack DPS first, where we'll use a tap skill to enter her special mode and do her no cutscene ultimate. This short burst deals no damage, doesn't cost energy to cast, absorbs any voids on field, and buffs her next 10 normal attacks based on the voids absorbed. 2 normal attack chains are 10 hits. Once 3 more voids are on field, you can perform a charge attack to absorb them as well, though absorbing with her short burst is preferred for the damage buff. And we'll basically just do this until we're out of her special mode, back to the supports to rinse and repeat for the next rotation. Burst DPS Skirk is a lot more simple. You go on field, hold E to absorb the voids, burst, then leave. No need to explain anything. This burst does do damage, and quite a lot of it. Even starting at 0 energy, her held skill plus 3 void absorptions gives her a total of 69 energy, enough for a max damage burst. 50 is the minimum, but every point above that, up to 12, gives her bonus damage. At level 10 multipliers, we're looking at a base damage of almost 1500%, which is insane. Then we get an additional 417% for the extra 12 energy, so yeah, it's pretty big. There is a sort of hybrid style where you try to do both playstyles. Essentially, you come on field a little early to do her cutscene burst, swap off and get the rest of your buffs while you wait for her E to be off cooldown, and come back later to do the normal attack spam. This only works well in certain teams, and I imagine the timing is pretty tight for max efficiency, so it's not something we're going to focus on too much for the first showcase. Moving on to constellations, and a bit of a spoiler, but nothing in here helps with her teammate selection. No matter the investment, she'll always be best in a freeze team. C1 buffs her void absorption to summon a crystal that deals 500% of her attack. Sadly, it is charge attack damage, which isn't buffed from her passive. C2 is pretty huge, mainly for burst DPS Skirk. 10 more energy points are counted for her buff, which are covered by the fact that she also gains 10 more from skill. So another 350% multiplier for her burst at level 10. Normal attack Skirk gets 70% attack, which is nothing to scoff at either. C3 is talent levels for burst. Total multiplier here would be a stupefying 2639%. C4 is a little mid as usual. It's 40% attack tacked onto her passive. C5 is of course 3 talents for her skill, most likely shifting preferred playstyle back to normal attack DPS, and then C6. It is a long one, so I'll try to keep it short-ish. It buffs both playstyles. When you absorb a void, you get a stack. Let's assume you absorb 3 voids. Burst DPS Skirk gets 3 extra hits of 750% attack, increasing the total burst multiplier to almost 5000%. Normal attack Skirk gets a similar buff, they're just not triggered instantly like burst. On the 3rd and 5th hits while she's in her skill mode, she'll use a stack to do 3 extra 180% attacks, and that can happen 3 times. So a total damage multiplier of 1620% versus 2250% for burst. Getting hit consumes a stack to reduce the damage by 80% and deal the same 180% times 3, but it's considered charge attack damage, so you'll actually deal less. And okay, that is Skirk. Definitely one of the longer talented Constellation Overviews. When it comes to her talent priority, as you may have guessed, her normal attack is not important. She uses the talent multipliers from skill while in skill mode, even though the damage is considered normal attack. Whether you focus on skill or burst more depends on what playstyle you're aiming for. The general consensus is that skill is more important, but if you mainly want to burst DPS, burst is more important. Just raise them both eventually. Talking about F2P weapons, thankfully she does have some solid options. For normal attack DPS Skirk, Calamity of Issue here is good if you have a shielder like Citlali with you. The craftable Finale of the Deep is basically for everything else. You do need a healer in your team to clear the Bond of Life for the passive, but most Skirk comps do have a healer, so I'd say this one is just generally more versatile than Calamity of Issue. Obviously, if you have some 5-star crit weapons, they'll be good too, particularly Miss Splitter here. Very easy for her to keep these stacks. High base attack, crit damage. We're just going Black Sword today, even though it is technically worse than Finale of the Deep. I'll eventually raise her signature, so I figured it'd be kind of a waste of resources. There are some other interesting options like Haran, which buffs normal attacks, so of course more for normal attack Skirk. Some other 5-stars can be good too, but it'll depend on playstyle and artifact set. Speaking of which, we are going with her signature set, as I already farmed the domain a lot for Furina. The Hunter set is just as good and even better in some cases, but you're locked into having Furina with her. Generally, I'm not a fan of that, though in Skirk's case, Furina is another one of those supports that if you have, you'll definitely want to use with her anyway. As mentioned, a crit damage sword would pair better with the Hunter set, as you're already getting 36% crit rate and another 15% from Cryo Resonance. For stats, we mostly focus on the typical DPS stats, crit damage, and attack. We also do have an attack goblet just because it had so much better subs than the Cryos I had. I think because we're on her signature set, 60% generic bonus here, a bunch from Furina and, other supports, I think it's fine. What's better probably depends on the team and buffs you're getting, but I can't really say objectively one way or the other. Here are her current stats, nothing insane. I am kind of including the 15% from Cryo Resonance, but even in a pure freeze team, I'm not sure how consistent it is, but we'll see. Before we move on to testing and comparing things, I do want to explain a bit for those that don't know why Escoffier is so good and important for Skirk teams. Not only is Escoffier herself a good source of damage, much like Furina, but she's also an incredible Hydro and Cryo res reducer, 55% at max. And if you also have Furina, she is a team-wide healer to combat that. So it's like, yeah, I really feel like Escoffier and Skirk were kind of literally made for each other. And then of course, if you have some constellations on your Escoffier, it gets crazier, 60% crit damage, and then at C2, a pretty big additive damage increase. Sadly, I can't turn off the constellations to compare, no Escoffier versus C0 Escoffier, but I'm quite sure even C0, she'd be one of Skirk's best teammates at least. With that said, try and take the numbers with a grain of salt. We are going to go in a team like this. I think this is probably the most hyper carry Skirk can really get, and what we'll probably do is just start swapping out the supports for other unit, and we are going to focus mostly on normal attack DPS Skirk right now because she does have Black Sword, which increases normal attack damage. Yeah, okay, this boss dies way too fast. I guess we'll go through Abyss. Team comparisons are never going to be super accurate because everyone's account is different, but we should be able to at least get a rough idea. Just saw like a 1-6. Oh my god, dude, this is insane. I can't even start commentating before the floor is dead. This is only floor 11. I'm just kind of making my way to floor 12 now. I have also heard this is a very hard Abyss and people are actually having issue with it, so should be interesting to see. I don't usually do floor 12 until God mode, but I feel like this team probably could get through it, and then we'll see how much we struggle without Escoffier. I guess that'll be, the closest thing we can get to a comparison. Oh my god, dude. Well, no damage to really see here. It's just an Abyss Lector, and then I guess another one? Oh no, not really. Well, I think most of our buffs were gone when he's popped up. Oh, look at that. It saved the team. I don't have to put them in again. When character has 0 energy, damage plus 75, yeah, okay. Oh, but that's right. This is actually supposed to be the Mawika side, I believe, because we start with an Ice Lady. So we're going to take the Skirk team in second half and see how that goes. Okay, here we go. Ah, right. We have the Perpetual Mechanical Array. I probably will try her burst. Oops, I just did a charge attack. Okay, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Oh my god, look at the Perpetual. He got shredded so fast. So the supports are, pretty high investment. C4 Furina, C1 Shenhe, C2 Escoffier. Skirk is still C0 with the, Black Sword though. Oh yeah, I should probably still play though. He's not dead yet. Yeah, we don't have all buffs, but I guess it doesn't matter. We were supposed to do a Q there, but he died too fast. I assume this isn't the hard floor, but we'll see. Okay, this guy is definitely pretty tanky. Survived a whole Mawika rotation. How about Mawika rotation part 2? No. Oh, right. They just get a shield again. So it's like we can't even really see anything, which is annoying. Yeah, we don't have buffs. Oh my god, I need to get used to not doing charge attack. I think that's because Arlecchino maybe. She does remind me of Arlecchino, and I'm just always doing the charge attack. Let's actually save burst. Well, except Escoffier's. We need healing. In fact, I'm going to switch this back to the healing so we can stop losing HP. So we just have like a really good chamber 3 here. Okay, here we go. This is a newer boss, I believe, but I'm going to not think about its mechanics and just start doing stuff. Go ahead and do that as well. And then Skirk, do that until 3 voids, and then holy, oh my god, I just saw like 500,000 in there. I guess from the additive damage buffs, but still, insane. Okay, well we can, oh, he's dead. Oh, 1 rotation, okay. I was just about to swap back out to Furina, but then I saw he was almost dead anyway, and I was like, oh, Jesus. Oh my god. Well, okay, yeah, I mean, we're just gonna run through it again and take out Escoffier. The annoying thing is we have to cover Escoffier's healing, because Furina, I feel like Mika wouldn't be a bad support for her. He does do the team-wide heals and like an attack speed buff, so, that's just another reason why Escoffier is so good, because she does all of that in one package. I already know this is going to be atrocious. Replacing a C2 R1 like best support with a 4-star. It's probably not going to go well, but we'll see. If we can still get through it, I'll be happy enough. This time we couldn't kill her before the clones, so I wouldn't pay attention to like the ending times or anything, because it's gonna depend on this team as well. But let's just see how this first one goes, I guess. We have the perpetual mechanical array again. I am doing the same rotation pretty much. I do a tap and hold for, yeah, okay, so we're gonna, okay, I mean, she's still incredibly strong, actually. Like, we killed those things really fast. Perpetual is not dying as fast, though. That's pretty obvious. I might show some, like, actual numbers side by side here to see what the difference is. But yeah, he was definitely in, like, his mode at this point, so we did lose quite a bit of damage. Yeah, it definitely took a little longer. At the end there, I was kind of more trying to prepare for the second chamber, you know, getting the healing and all that. This one I feel like probably won't be too much different, because, you know, most of this guy's power is in his shield. But we'll see here. We're gonna go ahead and do his burst as well. Go to Skirk. We have the 3 void. Let's absorb them. Like, she is still doing like some 70Ks I saw there. And like, he's already going into shield mode, so, you know, she's still strong. Just obviously a lot weaker than without Escoffier. But I mean, yeah, if you didn't have the other supports I'm currently using, you know, she'd probably be a lot more necessary. What are we doing to horse guy? Okay, not a lot. He has a shield right now. Shield should be gone right as Skirk exits the mode, which is kind of annoying. This one is definitely a lot tougher without Escoffier, I gotta say. And it's not just how much she's buffing Skirk, but Escoffier does a lot of damage herself. Mika doesn't do any, so I'm feeling that as well. Yeah, well, I mean, we got it with like 40 seconds to spare. Maybe it won't be a time issue. If it is, that would be really sad. Yeah, okay, holy, oh my god, we're doing so much less damage, it's crazy. I heard numbers from like, you know, 20-30%, but we killed him in that 1 rotation, and he's over half alive still, you know? I mean, yeah, that's probably C0 Escoffier minus C2, so the difference is a lot more drastic. Again, take it with a grain of salt and all, but damn. We can still kill him for sure, though, I think. If we don't die here, we have plenty of time. So he's actually not that tanky, apparently. I mean, it is doable at the end of the day. Okay, he stopped taking damage now. Can he just die, though? So, I mean, yeah, we did 36 star without Escoffier, but it was very, very noticeable. And the last thing I want to try is no Furina, no Escoffier, and see if we can still get through it. No Furina means we don't really need to heal her, though it probably still would be a good idea to, like, stay alive. I still want to take Shenhe, though, because, like, I feel like we should be allowed to have some support. I think we got to go see Citlali just for some protection there. She's not actually going to buff that much, I guess. She's in Cinder City, so we can at least get that buff. But she only reduces Hydro Res, so that's only going to help Yelan, really. But sure, let's just try it. I guess I also didn't realize how good Citlali was in the Mawika team, because we obviously can't use her in both sides. Might need to think about that as well. All right, let's see here. Can go ahead and do her burst. I mean, she's still doing solid damage for sure. Or, I mean, actually, I don't know. Well, there's like a 78 there. That was pretty good. Yeah, of course, not having Furina doubly hurts. I did the charge attack. I'm so dumb. No, I mean, she's still pretty strong for sure. Okay, perpetual mechanical array actually went down pretty fast. You know, it was still fine. I just think at this point, without, you know, Furina and Escoffier, she's just kind of on the same level as the other cryo DPSs. Just kind of fine, you know? This time we needed almost a full minute for this guy because I was trying to save energy. Yeah, this one will probably be close on time. because this guy is already taking way too long to kill. I'm not sure why, because it's just like the shield really, but yeah, he's taking too long. And then we have like the horse boss. I didn't do Yelan's burst. Okay, I probably didn't have it, I guess, but still, that's pretty bad. Yeah, this is going absolutely horribly. 30 seconds left. I don't think there's any chance, but yeah, I did kind of make some pretty bad mistakes. So we'll just try again, I guess. I don't know what's going on. You know what? If we can do it, we're gonna just keep it, even though that was a horrible run. It doesn't matter, I guess, as long as we get 3 stars, right? I mean, we were decently fast on the first boss there, so we have about 2 minutes for this guy. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so burst and just start blasting away. Because, yeah, I mean, we're at about half after the first rotation now. So it looks like losing Furina, or I guess replacing Furina with Citlali, didn't hurt us as much as I thought it would. Because I really don't believe I'm doing something completely differently than I was before. You know what I mean? This guy actually died really fast. I spoke a little too soon. He's not dead yet, but yeah. Maybe there was like 1 critical we got unlucky and didn't critical with, but yeah, sub-minute for this guy, if he would just die, please. I mean, that wasn't a super high investment team. We got C1 Shenhe, C2 Citlali, but again, it doesn't really do anything. We get like EM and Pyro and Hydro Res, so I guess Yelan was doing a tiny bit more, but I did kind of forget about her additive damage on C1, which I think was helping quite a lot. And Scroll, I guess. I mean, Citlali's not a bad buffer, especially if you want to go Calamity of Ishu. She'd probably be pretty good. And I guess we could have given her Thrilling Tales as well, but that would feel like such disrespect. Just for fun, we're going to do BurnMelt. I expect this to be the worst team by far, but just honestly for fun. And maybe we're surprised. Maybe, you know, it's actually not that bad. One good thing is we don't have to keep an eye on her like voids, you know, the little icons on her bar, because she won't be creating any. Whatever, it doesn't matter. If it's at least like kind of a little bit impressive, maybe we'll think about it more. But alrighty, let's see what's going on here, I guess. She'd probably need to be built completely differently as well for a team like this. I don't know, but whatever. Okay, oops, I just instantly did that. I mean, okay, I guess we can do that in Abyss, can't we? Just start with her burst. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, also her state does not last very long because we can't absorb any voids because there are no voids. Yeah, honestly, it's not going so well right now. We might be able to 3-star though, which would be already, you know, something, I guess. 20 seconds left. I don't know about this, man. Yeah, 7 seconds to spare. It's obviously not good. Ah, she died. Why am I even doing this? I'm leaving. That's dumb. No. But okay, I guess that'll pretty much do it. I know we focused mostly on normal attack Skirk for this showcase. Again, that's mainly because we're running Black Sword. Probably for God mode, we do explore some burst DPS, but for now, that's where I'll leave it. I think it goes without saying, she is incredibly strong in what I consider her ideal team. These 3, she was basically one rotationing all floors, even at C0, R0, and in admittedly not a super awesome artifact set. As for the question if you need Escoffier, no, you obviously don't, but I almost don't feel like Skirk is worth pulling unless you have Escoffier, because yeah, she's still a fine DPS, but so are like most of the DPSs. You know, most DPSs can clear Abyss if they have good enough supports with them. And in Skirk's case, yeah, Escoffier makes a very big difference. Even at C0, I imagine if like the 20-30% numbers are accurate, then it's like, that's pretty huge for a single teammate. Escoffier will rerun at some point, so if you just really like Skirk, her design, her playstyle, whatever, then you know, you can still grab her and then try and pick up Escoffier when she comes back. That is always an option. But those are pretty much my thoughts on Skirk. Absolute monster in her ideal team. Still very solid outside of her ideal team, but the further you go away from that, you know, logically she gets worse. But yeah, let me know what you think about Skirk or the video in the comments down below. Dropping a like or subscribing if you enjoyed is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.